Hello, Reverend, and the other YouTubers out there watching this. This is a response to one of my rants that I had, and this is just to show that I do know how to research. I jumped into what I'd done before without having everything completely prepared, but now I'm prepared and I've got what I have to say here in front of me. It's a lot, so I had to type it out. And just a little definition of history of Gardner, and a little bit about Wicca and witchcraft, and so on and so forth. So here we go. Wicca is a religion found in various countries throughout the world. It was first popularized in 1954 by a retired British civil servant named Gerald Gardner. After the British Witchcraft Act was repealed, he claimed that the religion of which he was an initiate was a modern survival of an old witchcraft religion which had existed in secret for hundreds of years, originating in the pre-Christian paganism of Europe. Wicca is thus sometimes referred to as the old religion. The veracity of Gardner's claims cannot be independently proven, and it is thought that Wiccan theology began to be compiled no earlier than 1920s. Various related Wiccan traditions have since evolved or been adapted from the form established by Gardner, which came to be called Gardnerian Wicca. These other traditions of Wicca each have distinctive beliefs, rituals, and practices. Many traditions of Wicca remain secretive and require that members be initiated. There is also a movement of eclectic Wiccans who do not believe that any doctrine or traditional initiation is necessary in order to practice Wicca. Gardnerian Wicca is a tradition of the neo-pagan religion of Wicca. Gardnerian Wicca is named after Gerald Gardner, of course. For those of you that don't know what neo-paganism is, neo-paganism is an umbrella term used to identify a wide variety of new religious movements, particularly those influenced by ancient and pre-Abrahamic pagan religions. Now, for those that acknowledge the religious text, according to the Bible, Abram was brought by God from Mesopotamia to the land of Canaan around 2000 BC, which puts paganism and witchcraft more than 4,000 years ago. So, just for a little timeline there. So back to Gardner. He claimed to have been initiated in 1939 into a tradition of religious witchcraft that he believed to be a continuation of European paganism. He knew and worked with many famous occultists, not the least of which was Aleister Crowley. That's another video altogether. After his retirement, Gardner moved to Christ Church near the New Forest on the south coast of England, where he says he met a group of people who preserved certain traditional practices, which means they had roughly the same religious background. They recognized him as being one of them, and they had to convince him to be initiated. It was only halfway through the initiation that he says that it dawned on him what kind of group it was, and that witchcraft had not died out in England. So that explains the so-called beginning of Wicca. Now, I'm not going to go on arguing about the history of Gardner anymore. The topic at hand now is witchcraft and being devil worship. Wicca and reform to witchcraft. So, here we go. Mind you, this is not from any religious text. Practices and beliefs that have been termed witchcraft do not constitute a single identifiable religion, since they are found in a wide variety of cultures, both present and historical. However, these beliefs do generally involve religious elements dealing with spirits, deities, the afterlife, magic, and ritual. Witchcraft is generally characterized by its use of magic. Here's another definition here. Popularly believed to be practiced of black magic, witches are known today as followers of Wicca, a pagan nature religion with roots in pre-Christian Western Europe. And this is where I go on, to explain my beliefs. I can go on and do definitions and histories and stuff, but I mean, right there is basically the best that I can put that, as far as history and everything else goes. I'm not Wiccan. I can't get any deeper than that. but I do practice a type of witchcraft. I mean, shit. That's what I'm entitled to, and what I know is in my heart. I haven't been told how to do it. I haven't been brainwashed into it or whatever, you know. It's I feel like I'm almost in high school again. You know, people with the whole religion thing, having to explain yourself. I mean, I don't have to. I choose to. But you know, when I keep going on and on. But when I do my rituals, I know damn good and well I ain't talking to Satan. I call on the moon and the earth and other deities and so on and so forth for the ritual. But what I would like to know is if there's anyone that can prove to me, which this is kind of an oxymoron or a catch-22, that witchcraft is devil worship. And if it's religious text, I mean, that pretty much just kind of doesn't make any sense to me. It's hard for me to believe anything from the Bible because it was written by man, and a lot of men I don't trust. We're liars, deceit, you know, changing things for our own well-being, to better ourselves before our neighbor, and so on and so forth, and I just don't trust it. So, I mean, if there's any way, I mean, if it's kind of like an atheist trying to prove to an atheist that there's a God, you know? I believe there's higher powers, but in my heart, I know for a fact that I ain't calling on Satan to do my bidding when I do my rituals. That's for damn sure. But, now I'm going to go ahead and answer a couple of questions that had been asked to me, or asked of me, and I do quote, Sparkyhead. Is Sparky in reference to sparking up my crack pipe? No, never tried the stuff, and never will. And head, being a reference to getting high, you know, spark your head. No, I haven't gotten high in 6 years. I smoked weed for about 6 months, and I saw what it was doing to me. I said, this is fucking stupid. So, it's been 6 years. And now I'm going to address the personal attacks. I don't appreciate it. I know you don't appreciate it. Anybody watching this video doesn't appreciate personal attacks as far as hygiene and looks and so on and so forth. It's horseshit. It's childish. And I'm not going to stoop to retaliation that makes me look like an ass and make things worse for the both of us, for everybody else, whoever's in conversation with whoever. You know, we could argue back and forth and retaliate back and forth forever, and I'm just not that kind of person. So, if anybody has any comments about this, let me know. I'd love to hear from you. Let me know if I got anything wrong, and we'll leave it at that. Have a blessed day and a wonderful journey.